Well, I finally saw it, and I was really surprised with what I saw actually. If you're wondering what it is, then take a close hint. It involves something from Nickelodeon, it's something from United Plankton Pictures, and I'm still watching his show now. The SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. Please note, this video will include spoilers by me, so if you haven't seen the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, I suggest you don't watch this. Go watch some Jeremy content on my video, or look at the chili cheese fries comment, or content. And, just don't cry if I spoil anything. It's your own fault you watched this. Just sit down and watch some frickin' Jeremy or something. Gosh, little crybabies. I'm still upset because of the fact that the Carl's Jr. chili cheese fries were gone, and it's lying up there in chili cheese heaven with the chili dog and any of the other products that were previously from Carl's Jr. but are gone. Back to the subject. I'm gonna start off with the beginning. This pirate called Burgerbeard is in Bikini Bottom, or pretty much the island or someone, I don't know where it is. He steals his book from a skeleton that magically comes out alive while avoiding booby traps. And he returns back to his ship, and then talking seagulls are there. And he's there to tell them a story or something about SpongeBob, I don't know. But he just tells them about it, and then the seagulls start singing the SpongeBob theme song. And then he tells them to stop. So it continues on with what it's about the Krusty Krab and about the fry cook named SpongeBob who made this Krabby Patty, and what was the thing that made the Krabby Patty so popular? Its formula. And then we then travel underneath the sea to experience what's happening at the Krusty Krab, and it looks like it's peaceful until there's destruction with Plankton schemes again. And I'm like, come on, did it really have to start with Plankton's schemes? And then we get this montage of them trying to fight the robots, or his creations, which was at first a plane, then it was a tank, and then it was a robot. And the guy who kept saying, oh look, it's raining potatoes, or fries, or raining pickles, and now it's raining tanks. I think that guy was Sandals, I don't know, but it turns out that he was there to steal the formula, and pretty much it was a robot that was doing it the whole time, tricking Mr. Krabs, and then SpongeBob finds out, and then he tries to get the formula from Plankton, and then magically it disappears. Mr. Krabs finds out that it's gone, and he blames Plankton when SpongeBob says to him that Plankton is innocent, but instead he does the one thing that tortures the living life out of Plankton. He hears SpongeBob's laughing. I mean, I literally laughed at the theater when I found out that he was laughing so hard. It was like so funny. And then we get multiple SpongeBobs on the screen everywhere, and Plankton's like screaming like crazy. I have never laughed that hard in my entire life when watching SpongeBob. It was just so hilarious. But then it goes away when Squidward tells SpongeBob to stop and fill out the Krabby Patty orders. But then he finds out that there are no more Krabby Patties, and then he can't make it without the secret recipe. And Mr. Krabs still thinks that Plankton's the one to cause it, and tells everyone to literally get Plankton for what he's done. And then everything turns a lot of apocalyptic, and I don't know why they would do that. That's like when SpongeBob and Plankton were there, and SpongeBob still believed him that he was innocent. But what surprised me was that he blew a bubble, and I thought that this could mean trouble or something, that he was gonna blind Plankton, but he joins him, and then they float up in the sky and saying, wait, he's trying to escape! And then Mr. Krabs thinks that SpongeBob has betrayed him, and everyone goes berserk. And then here we are, we're having Plankton and SpongeBob discussing the things that have happened previously, and the pirate is still reading it. I don't really want to talk about the pirate segments, because I really want to talk about the SpongeBob segments. Moving on, the friendship songs. Turns out that Plankton keeps saying this thing about teamwork or TM or time work or something. I don't know. He says TM or something with the teamwork and such. But the one part that really got me bursting into laughter was when SpongeBob was sleeping and then Plankton entered his brain. And everything was like all sunshine and rainbows. And then we get these two popsicles talking. And then we get rainbows talking. And then we get voracious stuff and Plankton screaming his head off. SpongeBob's brain is made of cotton candy. Wow. This is funny. But then SpongeBob realizes that Plankton was in his brain, and then that's when he starts singing the songs about teamwork and that they should work together into solving this problem. Then they make a time machine with Karen. They have to sneak away from the guards, and they have to free Karen and use her head for the thing. And this song, Squeeze Me by Nerd, kept playing when they were in the time travel machine. You know that song? It goes like, softer than pillows, won't you believe me? Squeeze me till I pop, squeeze me till I drop. Yeah, here we go now. Yeah, here we go now. The reaction from SpongeBob and Plankton when they're in the time machine. Oh my gosh. That was so funny. They're like, their faces, they travel way too far, and then they travel to this universe where this dolphin creature is watching the planets. He looks very similar to the one from Sponge Kano, except he's real. And it's just weird. When he decides to take a bathroom break, and SpongeBob and Plankton are watching these planets, they clash together, like they break, and then the dolphin gets fired from his job of watching it for 1,000 years. Finally, they go back to the previous time where when Plankton was trying to steal the formula, but instead they say that they're from the future to the present SpongeBob and Plankton. Did they rip this off of Back Kiss, a regular show? Because this looks the same. I mean, look at it. They return from the present, and then the person thinks of where they came from. Really? Back Kiss had the same plot. I mean, when Mordecai went back in time to reverse what he's done, there's another Mordecai that's there asking where he's from. Yeah, big resemblance there. But it doesn't last too long when I find out that it was just used for humor, and they go back to the time traveling machine again, and then they find out that they stole the wrong recipe for it. It was like a note from Plankton, a mean note from Plankton to Mr. Krabs, which is not really good. And they're saying that they try to do a sacrifice, and before I go on with that part, when Patrick uses the time machine, he brings back a dinosaur that looks like Squidward. A Squidosaurus, I don't know, but it was so funny. It was so funny. Oh my gosh. But then they had to do the sacrifice, and SpongeBob started acting all crazy, saying that he's become like them, and that he wanted to make things right by having him to sacrifice. But then, before they're able to sacrifice him, he smells Krabby Patties from the surface. And then everybody goes up there to see it, and then it finds out that it's on the way top where they can't breathe water. Sadly, they can't breathe out of water, and then suddenly the dolphin, I remember the name, Bubbles, comes to the rescue and says that he came back in time to thank him for getting him fired because he wanted to get out of that job for 10,000 years. And so he helps him breathe air by putting him in his blowhole, and then they all become CGI-like, and they're on this beach. And they avoid lots and lots of people, and like the beach porpoise, and the ice cream, and the cotton candy, and Squidward saying, "When is the sugar gonna wear off?" And then they stop just like that. I don't know if this is really kind of the same, but this kind of resembles the older movie that I've seen back in the past with all the live action stuff and everything. the Barney's Great Adventure, when there's like a lot of people running around doing all this crazy stuff. It's the same thing with the SpongeBob. I mean, that's got like the same music, the same conflict, and they're avoiding situations and such. And then they find Burger Beard, who apparently stole the recipe, and yeah, I skipped the parts with the seagulls and such. I did not like him at all. Anyways, he banishes them to Pelican Cove, and then they almost get eaten until they find out that Sandy has found a page that can actually save them, and then SpongeBob writes stuff down, super like, and then they turn into superheroes. They really look similar to the Avengers, I don't know, but I just like SpongeBob's invincible hero. It looks really good. Anyways, the battles were epic. I mean, I loved how the battle sequences were, with the bombs and the bubbles and Sour Note and Serpentilot, and a realistic looking Sandy named Rodent. I don't know, why did they have to make Sandy real? There was no problem with her original appearance. I mean, why did they have to make her real? Oh well. Anyways, as the movie progresses, it turns out that Plankton has also turned into a superhero called Plankton. He actually saves the day and teams up with SpongeBob with his gigantic bubbles, and then apparently he gives up the recipe, and then he's like tossed out. And then Plankton gives back the recipe to Mr. Krabs, and then everything turns back to normal. Yeah, the ending was great. But yeah, the ending was great, but it turns out that Plankton wasn't gonna change after all and was back to his no good schemes. Jeez, what a good way to end the movie. But no, it turns out the seagulls were finally given the chance to sing that song, SpongeBob theme song, and then the Bubbles says that he doesn't like it, and then starts rapping. We get these rap verses for no odd reason. And then the Penny the pirate says, "Hey, don't make the movie long!" And then after they sing the song, it's over. Man, I just loved it. It's like capturing the magic. I think it's better than the original movie because at least SpongeBob doesn't die at all. He doesn't get dried up. There's no Cyclops. There's no Dennis, and sadly, there's no David Hasselhoff. Ugh, I like David Hasselhoff. That guy was good. But it's a minor setup, and I love the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. And a lot of people like it too. I don't know if a lot of them like it, but in my opinion, I think it's a really good movie. So I hope you enjoy this, and I can't wait till it comes out on DVD. I'm gonna add it to my collection. Laters.